Yeah, hello guys, welcome to Network Pips. Still on the subnetting. Today we'll be looking at the class B subnetting and how we can break down a large class C network into sub different other networks. So, class C subnetting, let's go down, get down to business immediately. Let's say I want to break down this large network into into two, for example, and I first of all, what am I going to do? I'm going to determine the host bit and the host ID and the network ID. How am I going to do that? By looking at my subnet mask. My subnet mask is 255.255.0.0.0 and so on. So my subnet mask stopped here on the first octet. So this is my network ID and this is my host ID. Very simple. So to borrow one bit, I'm going to borrow one bit from my first octet and the no from the second octet, I mean to say, and the rest will be 0. So remaining 8 this side, uh, 8 this side plus the 7, which is going to be 23. So to determine how many times I'm going to borrow this bit, break down this network, I borrowed one bit, which is 1, 2 to the power of 1 is going to give me 2. So this large network is going to break down into 2, number 1 and 2. So I'm going to determine how many hosts, how many addresses that is on this network by determining number of the remaining bit after my one borrowed bit, which is 23. That is remaining borrowed bit. So the remaining bit is 23. Is going to be 2 to the power of 23, which is going to give me 8,388,608. So minus the 2 address that we are not going to be using, which is your network ID and your broadcast ID address, which we are not going to be making use of. I'm going to minus these 2 addresses from this guy to give me 8,388,606. So to determine our first network ID is going to be this very first network that we broke down, which is going to be 10.0.0.0. Then the very first broadcast ID, to determine it, you're going to determine the next network ID, which is going to be which is going to be 10.128. Remember, we borrowed one bit and our place value occurred on our place value 128, and the borrowed bit occurred on the second octet. This is where it occurred, so the changes will be occurring on this second octet as well. So this 128.0.0, then find the broadcast ID of that guy is going to be 1 minus 128, which is going to give me 127. Then to find the broadcast ID of that network, everything is going to be 255, like I told you earlier. So the network ID to find the subnet mask, is going to be 255.128. How did I get 128? 128, if you convert that octet, this octet that we borrowed from, which is now going to be 1000, that's 7 zeros like this, okay, which is going to be 1.070 zeros like this. If you convert it to a decimal like this, you're going to get 1000000, which is going to give you 128. It's going to give you 128. So the rest will be 0. So to find this last notation, we borrowed 1 bit. If we add 8 plus 1, is going to give us 9. That's how we got this 9. So you can see these things are very easy. So it's just for you to rewatch this video if you find it difficult to understand it at first watch, and you see that it's very easy, just so too elementary. So but this is what we'll be dealing with every day. Aside from this course we're dealing with now as a network engineer, this is what we are going to be dealing with every day, all the days of our life. This network, when you see an IP address, you see it, you know the network ID, the subnet mask, and all those kind of stuff. So the first valid host for this network, maybe for example this guy, will be, let me wipe out the screen, will be 10.0.0.1. that will be the first valid address, remember. So if this address to this one will be, if you want new address again, this one will be 2, this one can be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 255. Then 255, if another host need another address, it's not going to be 2. You can't give in 10.0.0.256 because it's not a valid IPv4 address. So we're going to roll over 1 to this, the third octet, which is now going to look like 0 to 10.0.1.0. Then the next valid address again, if another host needs an address, is going to be 10.0.1.1, 10.0.1.2, 10.0.1.3, 10.0.1.4, and so on as it go till this one turns to maybe say 10.0.255.0, and this one wants to now become 255 again. 255. This is a valid address. Then if you want to roll over to this one now, this one will now become 10.1.0.0. So and so on and so forth. So this is how this address will be ranging from. You understand? So these things are very easy, very easy. So I would like to thank you for watching. See you in the next video.